Yo, Blaze,
Yo, what's good, Tone?
you trying to burn one?
Bro, are you trying to burn?
Oh yeah.
Well, let's go. You already late.
Well, light that thing up then.
Yo, welcome back. Everybody trying to burn. We appreciate everyone that's tapping in again. What's good, Tone? You trying to burn today?
Hell yeah, man. Shit. Why you even ask me that?
Right. I know some questions are redundant, right? I know. It's sort of rhetorical at this point, you know? Oh, man. Well, it's good to see you again,
Oh
brother.
man, you too, man. You too.
We wanted to talk a little bit. We were just mentioning about productivity, man. This is like one of my favorite topics when
Me
it
too,
comes
man.
to cannabis culture, man, because I feel like there's a crazy stigma, and it really like burns me, that whole lazy stoner thing. You know what I mean? Because to me that's a myth, man. I don't know about you, but soon when I'm burning, bro, I'm ready.
Me too.
I'm on grind time. Like
Yo,
let's rock.
focused.
You know what I mean? Certainly there's times that I have something that I'm using for my downtime or for my come down or for my
Yep.
relaxing wind down in the evening bedtime stuff. But that's not what I mean. I'm no less stoned in the morning, when I'm off to start my day than I am, at the end of the night. So to think that, this stigma about, being a cannabis user or because you smoke herb that makes you lazy, I think it's a cop out for lazy people.
I do too.
You know what I mean? And I think that the cop out for lazy people because they smoke, you know what I mean? And they don't want to put in the work, they create this negative stigma over the past several decades that really taints the fucking whole outlook. People like you and me, bro. Let somebody call me lazy, when I'm out doing my daily grind. You know what I mean?
I feel you,
These
brother.
young boys can't keep up with me.
Hell
You know what
no.
I'm saying?
Walking laps around them.
Right. And, so it's really one of them topics that really I think gets kind of just laughed about and brushed off like, it's just some lazy stoner shit. You know what I'm saying? But every time I hear it, man, I get a little burned. Like, listen, man, I ain't lazy. You know what I'm saying? But I'm very high functioning, stoner. And I get it. Some people, that's not who they are, but that don't create a stigma or should put somebody in a box. You know what I mean?
For real.
Hold on.
For real.
I'm gonna talk this thing out. Go ahead.
So what makes you more productive? Like a nice sativa, nice hybrid?
So, for me, man, I'm not a sativa guy, right? I did notice I used to be indica, man. I wake up and indica for breakfast, indica for lunch, indica for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
But as I gotten older, a little bit older, that sleepiness, and also the bud's gotten better. The indicas have gotten heavier.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I remember even 4 or 5 years ago, 26, 27% was like elite. Now we're getting stuff at 38, 39, 40%, 40 plus percent. I'm like, literally half this bud is THC.
That's crazy.
It's wild. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I found that as I gotten older and the bud's gotten better, that I could move away from so many indicas, or so much indica. And again, I'll use that more of a wind down at night. But sativa's still not my thing, man. I love a hybrid for me. Some people, they love sativa, man. And, I respect that. It's not for me, man. I get the negative effects that people group all, as a side effect of all marijuana. Like I'll get, anxiety or, paranoia if I smoke too much sativa. But for me, a good hybrid all day is like,
Yep, that's my favorite too. A nice hybrid.
Now if I want a little less sleepy, I'll go a hybrid sativa dominant, but like 60, 40, a little more sativa in it. You know what I mean? It's something that just goes right, and it never gives me any negative side effects. I'm driving around paranoid. I'm not going to, my daily grind, feeling like somebody's following me or I'm going to fall asleep or nothing like that. You know what I mean? It's perfect. So that's really kind of the space I live, man. Hybrid and mostly indica dominant hybrid with a few tweaks here and there. But like we talked on the last episode, if you remember, man, even the other ones that are sativas, man, if they're real pretty, I gotta give them a go.
We gotta give it a try, man.
I'm like, this one's gonna be different, So I'm not against it. It's just not my normal thing. What about you, man?
So sativa, at first that was kind of like my thing, but then I started getting kind of like anxious and stuff like that at times.
Right.
So I kind of backed away from it and focused a little bit more on the indica and the heavier hybrids. And I just found my sweet spot with the hybrids, man.
Right.
You know, it's just.
Are you a 50-50 or is there one side you like to lean or
I
does it
think
matter?
maybe I still kind of lean towards the sativa one, maybe because of flavoring.
Right. You
Right?
like those terpene profiles
Yeah.
those are the ones that I hate.
Yep.
Only because they
Well, I mean,
speak to my negative side effects. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So when I smell pinene or, you know, that sort of pine salty, it's a, you know, heavy in sativas.
Yeah, that heavy.
Yeah, it almost smells like a cleaner, you know?
Yep.
And, you know, obviously that same terpene is found in the pine tree, hence the reason, the similarity, right? But when I smell that, I'm like, yeah, this one's not for me. You know what I mean? It's not for me. Unless, again, it's something beautiful.
Something amazing.
I'm like, this ain't for me, but we're going to give it a shot.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. So that's one thing that I kind of experienced. And then finding that hybrid sweet spot was just perfect for me. And then, you know, I always love trying out different indicas just because that burp, man.
So talk to me about, you know, your sweet spot and productivity. You know what I mean? What is it that keeps you going? And do you feel that, you know, cannabis holds you back in any way? Or do you feel like that you've just fine-tuned it so it doesn't hold you back?
So
because I feel like that could be a percentage for younger people that just go too hard.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And they allow it to hold them back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then if they find it and lean it on a crutch, then it becomes that cop out, right?
Yep.
But you know, I feel like that's a percentage, right? So like, did you fine tune it, or you just one of those people like myself that it just never really held you back?
It just really never held me back,
right?
You know, and always too because of my upbringing, right? We were wild kids growing up, man. Wild.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
You know, like wild. That's all I must say. I'm not
grateful
even
to be
get
here.
Into the details. Just grateful to be alive.
Amen.
To, you know,
and that's all we're going to say about that.
And that's it.
Maybe another episode.
But in that time, right, is when I started burning.
Right.
And we were always on the go. There was never like we chilling. Nah, we was always on the go for something, to do something, you know, constant.
Right.
And that kind of environment, along with the enjoyment of, you know, burning and being a part of something, just got me in that focus mode every time we smoke.
Right. Yeah,
you
man.
know, and then I feel like that kind of helped associate productivity with burning. You know?
I would definitely agree with that. You know what I mean? In the beginning, it was more recreational when I was younger, you know what I mean? And now it's more about, you know, what I need, you know, medicinally, right? And with a great side effect of feeling amazing, you know what I mean? And so I definitely would agree with that. And I definitely feel like, you know, there's a little bit of fine tuning. So now I know exactly what I need to get going based on my energy level or how I'm feeling. For example, if I had a bad night of sleep, you know, I know that indica dominant one in the morning is probably not going to be a good friend to me that day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm going to feel amazing, but I'm going to be yawning about 2 hours into my daily grind. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Which, you know, I'm not about that life. You know what I mean? I'll still be productive, but I'll be feeling groggy. You know what I mean? So I feel like a little bit of knowledge, education, a little fine tuning, but also just knowing yourself. You know what I mean? But, you know, I feel like, you know, never did it bring me back. I felt, if anything, it gave me the juice to keep going, you know, it gave me the juice I needed. I feel in many ways it still does, you know. Now it's just part of me though. So it's just part of the, you know, it's like brushing your teeth and taking a shower, you know, eating to survive, you know. So how it is now.
So yeah, man, I would say definitely morning time, wake and bake, gotta be a little bit lighter on the indica. Gotta be. Just so I don't fall back to sleep, you know, by 12 o'clock.
Right.
Lunch break, nap time, you know?
Right. So instead of me switching to like something little less on the indica side, I just take a few less puffs.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So instead of, you know, waking up and, you know, rolling up, you know, one of my classic go-tos, you know.
Your slugger?
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm definitely not going to a slugger in the morning. You know, we'll talk about that on another episode. Them sluggers will knock your ass out and put you right back to bed, and then you be late for your daily grind, and,
late for everything,
and then you gotta explain yourself to people. I'm not about that life,
you
know. But you know, I'll just have a little bit less in the morning, just enough, you know, because like I said, I'm more of an indica person, indica dominant. So instead of having like a bunch of different flavors on deck that, just for that, I'll just fine tune the number of puffs,
Yep. Give me a half a J instead of a regular whole J.
Right, or maybe like a quick bowl. Remember we talked, man. I'd rather have one of my little bongs ready. You know what I mean? So sometimes,
LA Packer, man.
Sometimes one little bong rip or something in the morning. It's all you need, man. Get your day started. You know, these young cats listening. They're about the culture, but they don't know yet. You get a little bit older, and your joints and bones are a little bit creaky, a little bit. Take a little bit more to get going. But once you get going, you're right back to where you need to be.
My favorite part is when my wife is like, "Were all those pops you?"
Right. I hear that, my man.
Yeah.
The weirdest thing I would say is, I get up in the morning, man, I'm headed over to twist up something or, pack my little bowl, and I'll wake up with a ferocious pain in my back. I'll take 2 steps. It just goes away. And like nothing's wrong. And I'm like, but why did it hurt?
Yeah. So that's a great point that you pick up, right? So, going to work is obviously a strong part of our normal productivity, right?
Right.
Productivity to survive, to
that
pay our bills,
grind,
support our families. So when that happens, do you wake and bake? When you wake up with pain like that, do you wake and bake and you're still able to function and go throughout your day and all that?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I really I'm a fan of the medicinal side of cannabis, and I try to keep my finger on the pulse, of the things that we continue to learn, right? And now with the current legality, companies are able to dump money in the R&D, and that helps us to continue to learn more. That's why they keep finding new terpene profiles and stuff like that. So for me, man, if I'm in pain or feeling a little bit of pain from my daily grind or my age, I'm feeling my age, so, I definitely lean on the medicine, man. Lean on the cannabis for that. And that might be a day I make an exception. If I'm in a real sore, feeling kind of tough, I might make the exception to go a little heavier on the indica in the morning and a little stronger on the coffee when I get to work. You know what I mean? So there's, again, there's change. Sometimes you got to switch up. But definitely got to have the coffee. But you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta. It's like an aggregate, man. You gotta ebb and flow with it.
I feel you.
But I need those medicinal effects. They really, it ain't really about getting high for me. It hasn't been for a long time.
So a special topic with that. Do you prefer flower, a wax, or a pen?
Like overall in general?
For like a pain situation or a productivity situation. Matter of fact, for like productivity.
I mean, keeping on topic, when I'm out in the world, man, I would rather have something like a nice little hash rosin disposable or a live resin disposable. One, quick, easy,
So disposable pen, right?
Yeah, they're disposable cartridges. They're pretty much the trend, sweeping the nation, They're convenient. They're really no smell at all.
Yeah.
You can step out, a couple of puffs and you're getting immediate results, and you can get right back on the grind. You don't have to stop, flower while I love
that
it,
heavy
one that comes with,
linger.
It's archaic in the sense that you're setting something on fire and there's smoke and resin and residue. And, when I'm on my daily grind, that's something that can't be a part of me, so I don't feel like going in to brush my teeth and wash my hands and, all this mess, you know what I mean? Because I love my flowers, you know what I mean? That's something that I can love at home, and on
their personal time, personal space.
To maintain high efficiency in my daily grind, whether it's at work or whatever I'm handling. I would probably just stick with my rosin pen, man.
Nice disposable pen.
2023, man, they're getting so good. They're getting so efficient. The packaging, the device itself is becoming more quality, different brands, and I feel like I've been waiting my whole life for this time. You know what I mean? And now I'm just experimenting with different brands.
Remember when shit was when we were young, man? Oh
yeah,
my God,
I just went to our local county farm fair this summer,
crazy.
And there was a cannabis dispensary truck. There's
at the fair.
Yeah, at the fair. One of the vendors at the fair.
Come take the butt
I'm walking
ride.
up with my teenager. I'm like,
we're gonna light you up in here.
I'm like, what's the menu? And my man says, I am the menu. And I'm like,
man, that's a nice answer.
Yeah, it's a great answer. But I was like, I got you. I start hitting him with some questions. He's like, hold on. This is he's pointing out, this is what everything is. I'm like, all right, you don't want to answer my questions, man, because we'll be here all day. You know what I'm saying?
I got something for y'all.
But here I am. I'm with my teenager, and I'm at the farm fair. We got funnel cakes, and I'm like, yeah, I'll take a $20 pre-roll, thanks. You know what I mean? Save that for later. I'm like, it's a weird world, and I feel like it's something we've been, sort of fought for, through our whole youth. You know what I mean?
Was that like a $20 J or something?
It is, bro. It's Jungle Boys. It's called Project 4516, which is a gelato 45 crossed with platinum puff. Nice. Pretty premium. Yeah. Some people like the sound of a cold one. Not me. I want to shout out everyone that tapped in and was burned with us this episode. We look forward to seeing you on the next one. If you guys want to burn with us, the link is in the description. Hit us up. Give us your best stories, good and bad, cannabis culture. We want to hear your perspective.
Peace.
Peace.